It is 2 o'clock in the morning, and the world around you is completely silent. Yet, inside your head, the volume is deafening. You are replaying an awkward comment you made 3 years ago to a coworker who has likely forgotten you even exist. Welcome to the exhausting, relentless world of overthinking, a state where your mind refuses to let you rest. To understand why your mind does this, we have to look deep into your evolutionary history. Thousands of years ago, your ancestors lived in an environment where a single mistake meant instant death by a hidden predator. Survival required a mind that was constantly anticipating every possible worst-case scenario. The brains that survived were not the relaxed ones. They were the hyper-vigilant ones that assumed every rustle in the bushes was a threat. Fast forward to modern times, and that identical survival machinery is still operating inside your skull. Today, you do not face saber-toothed tigers, but your brain processes modern stresses with the exact same level of urgency. Psychologists call this phenomenon the negativity bias, our inherent tendency to focus on threats over safety. Because of this bias, your mind actively searches for problems to solve, even when your life is completely stable and safe. This brings us to a fascinating neurological feature known to science as a default mode network. When you stop actively focusing on an external task, a specific network of interconnected brain regions automatically switches on. This network is essentially your brain's default setting, and its primary job is to look inward. It is responsible for daydreaming, remembering the past, and simulating future scenarios before they ever happen. But for an overthinker, this highly advanced network behaves like a vehicle with a stuck accelerator pedal. Instead of healthy reflection, the network traps you in a repetitive loop of rumination, endlessly dissecting past events. You begin analyzing simple micro-expressions, trying to find hidden meanings where none exist. You ask yourself, why did they say it like that? Did I sound strange? What did that look actually mean? This continuous analysis creates a profound psychological trap known as the illusion of control. On a subconscious level, your brain mistakenly believes that worrying about a problem is the same thing as actively solving it. It feels productive in the moment, but you are actually just spinning your wheels without moving forward. Think of it like an engine running at maximum capacity while the car remains firmly parked in neutral, plenty of heat, but no progress. This internal friction burns an immense amount of mental energy, leaving you physically exhausted by midday. This explains why you can feel completely burned out even if you spend the entire morning just sitting at your desk. Overthinking doesn't just tire you out. It actively alters the way you perceive reality. When you overanalyze, you zoom in so closely on a tiny detail that you entirely lose sight of the bigger picture around you. Another major catalyst for overthinking is a psychological concept called catastrophic thinking. This is a tendency to assume that the absolute worst-case scenario is not just possible, but completely inevitable. If your partner takes slightly longer than usual to text you back, your brain immediately concludes that something terrible has happened. Your mind completely skips past the dozens of logical, boring explanations in favor of high drama. They aren't busy, or stuck in a meeting, or driving. Your brain insists that they are angry with you or in danger. This intense cognitive distortion triggers a physical wave of anxiety throughout your body. Your heart rate increases, your breathing grows shallow, and your body enters a state of mild fight-or-flight response. The irony is that your brain is creating this very real physical suffering out of purely imaginary threats. But why are some people far more prone to this exhausting cycle than others? Part of the answer lies in personality traits, specifically a trait known as neuroticism. Individuals who score highly in this area naturally experience emotions more intensely and perceive the world as more threatening. Another major factor that feeds overthinking is the constant pursuit of perfectionism. If you believe that making a single mistake will completely ruin your reputation, you will analyze every choice to death. The intense fear of regret paralyzes your ability to make simple, everyday decisions. You spend 4 to 5 minutes choosing a restaurant, terrified that you might make the wrong choice and end up disappointed. This phenomenon is widely known in psychology as analysis paralysis. When you are presented with too many options, your brain simply overloads, terrified of making an imperfect decision. So, how do we break out of this exhausting, self-imposed mental prison? The first and most crucial step is learning how to accurately separate productive problem-solving from destructive rumination. Productive thinking always leads directly to a practical action. Overthinking simply spins in a circle. If you can take action right now to fix the issue, you are actively problem solving. But if you are simply replaying a scenario you cannot change, you are trapped in rumination. The second powerful technique is a cognitive behavioral therapy tool called thought postponement, or designated worry time. Instead of allowing worries to disrupt your entire day, you deliberately schedule a specific 15-minute window to worry. If a stressful thought pops up at 10 a.m., you gently tell yourself, "I will think about that at 5 p.m." By the time 5 p.m. arrives, you will often find that the problem has lost its emotional grip on you. Another highly effective method to break the loop is to change your physical environment immediately. When your mind is stuck in a loop, moving your body forces your brain to process new sensory input. Go for a brisk 10-minute walk, wash the dishes, or take a cold shower to break the cognitive momentum. Physical actions ground your focus firmly in the physical world, dragging you out of the abstract maze of your mind. You can also practice the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique to rapidly bring your awareness back to the present moment. Acknowledge 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This simple practice fills your working memory with immediate reality, leaving no room left for overthinking. Finally, learn to accept the profound beauty of imperfection and the reality of uncertainty. You cannot control the future, and you absolutely cannot change the past, no matter how many times you replay it. Life is not a problem to be perfectly solved, but an ongoing experience to be actively lived. The next time your brain begins spinning a chaotic late-night web of worry, take a long, deep breath. Recognize the loop for exactly what it is, just an ancient brain trying and failing to keep you safe. Gently smile at the absurdity of the thought loop, let go of the need for absolute certainty, and step out of the trap. Thank your mind for trying to protect you, and then give yourself permission to finally sleep. If you found this deep dive valuable, please subscribe to our channel and share your thoughts on overthinking in the comment below. Thank you for watching, and remember to protect your peace.